Welcome into the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That is Tyler.
What it is, sir?
How are you, sir?
Doing good, man. A little tired today.
Yeah, I'm a little tired today, too.
A little tired. Been a long week.
It has been a week. It has been a week. Trying to get myself braced for what's next week. So
we'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Welcome to the live streams. Thursday, 2 p.m. Central. Tyler's got the PGA Tour on.
Yeah, we got the little PGA Championship on. I literally was walking out the door when Scotty Scheffler dunked one from the fairway. It was very nice of his wife to allow Rory and everybody else to compete last week at the Wells Fargo since he couldn't go. But he seems dialed in after one hole since he stuck a 9-iron in the hole.
I saw that shot.
He almost dunked it. He short about 6 inches and it hopped in. But, yeah, it's just not fair.
I've been watching the CNN coverage of the Trump trial in New York. It's interesting.
I didn't know your TV went to CNN. I thought you had.
No, you know what?
I thought they had you blocked.
No, no. If you tell me that I have to watch cable news, that is the one I will watch because I kind of know where we're coming from, and
okay.
I find some of it to be interesting. And then, frankly, there's some other people are talented. I mean, they're good. It is interesting to watch their coverage of this particular trial because I think some of them wanted this to be something that it's not going to be. I'm not saying he's not going to be convicted. I don't know. Who knows what a jury's going to do. But this trial didn't give them what they wanted. And so now they're balancing their personal preference versus their what's left of their journalistic integrity. Because they're wanting to point out, oh, boy, Cohen's got problems in his testimony. He's conflicted, blah, blah, blah. And it's interesting just to sort of watch it. Like if you go to MSNBC, it's, he's guilty as hell. And if you go to Fox News, it's, this is a sham. And there's somewhere in the middle. It's not even middle. It's way left. But it's interesting.
It's middle left.
So now they're talking about.
Middle left of the fairway.
Yeah, they're talking about all the recordings and stuff. It's been an interesting thing to kind of follow. The Cohen testimony because obviously Trump has very talented attorneys and they have sliced and diced Cohen, who's a horrible witness. And it's fascinating. I find law to be the most interesting thing in the world. I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this.
Okay.
I love court and trials and things. I think it's fascinating. And then I love journalism law. And so watching these two things intersect in the ways that they have has been.
That reminds me. I need to probably remind me when we get to because we'll have time when we get to talk about your trip and the guesses that have been coming in.
Yeah,
we got an email from a lawyer that his guess, and it was one of the most interesting emails I've ever read. I was like, holy shit. I won't say the lawyer's name, but he was a lawyer. He's actually a partner at a law firm.
Is he guessed the number of masks that I would,
yes, but how he wrote it out, how he put it together, and I was like, this guy has chosen the right profession. Like I want this guy representing me.
Well, save it so that when it's over, I can read it.
Yeah,
because I can't read it beforehand.
I won't tell you the number, but I'll read the. Okay. I'll read the email like how he deduced what to get there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing like I did that today too. I've been doing. We're in the hundreds of responses.
Really?
So I've been moving them to a spreadsheet so we can keep up with it easier.
Yeah.
And that has been a pain in my ass. Like I eat my lunch and do that. So I did some late last night.
Has anybody guessed my destination?
No.
How about that?
No, not even close. Not even the same. Not even in the ballpark.
Okay, good.
We've had a ton of everybody wants to guess in the emails, right?
Yeah.
A lot of guesses in the email. A lot of they thought I almost slipped up on the podcast the other day.
I thought you did too.
But it
has led to my I have done some research on frankly the states that begin with N.
Okay. I will put it like this. No one's even close.
If you send me to North Dakota, I've done some research on a handful of North Dakota towns.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You ever seen
Fargo?
No. Have you ever watched National Treasure? When they go
Yes.
See, I'm really sending you on the National Treasure if you're going to look for the National Treasure behind the was that South Dakota or North Dakota?
It was South Dakota. Wasn't it behind Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's South Dakota. Never mind. No, that's not where you're going. So, What's up, everybody on TikTok? I'll try not to get banned today. We got a lot of people watching on TikTok today already, Neal. I will do my best not to get banned. In the event that I get banned, you're more than welcome to come over to YouTube, where they haven't kicked us off yet, surprisingly, but on the MPW Digital Network on YouTube, just type in the search bar MPW Digital. We are live right now. You can see the whole show. Join the chat. Have a good time. Neal, tell me about. Oh, you got to start. We have to start the audio file. So I'm jumping ahead. Yeah, let's do it. We'll have a short one today.
Welcome into episode 174 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Tuesday afternoon. It's May the 16th.
All day long.
All day long. We're officially halfway through the month of May, almost to summertime.
It's getting here quick.
Pretty much last week of school for most of the kids, at least in Mississippi.
Oh, my kids are already trying to negotiate their ways out of going to school next week. I don't understand it, but whatever. I'll let my wife handle all that.
We're brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Hey, Neal, on TikTok, Brian says he still misses Neal in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, it's very nice of you, Brian. I've been gone for a long time. Been gone for a long time.
Been gone for a minute.
Neal, 16 years.
It's been a minute.
16 years.
Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is bumping today.
We were in Mobile a long time. We were down there for like a whole decade.
Yeah, I was down. I lived there.
We thought we were going to stay there.
7 years.
Laura wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
And then we didn't.
7 years I spent Mobile.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss me. He just misses you.
Yeah, well, it's understandable.
Appreciate you, Brian. You don't miss me. You just miss Neal. I get it. He said WNSP hasn't been the same.
Thank you.
We'll get Neal riled up on WNSP.
You know what? It's one of those things. In all seriousness, it's one of those things where unanswered prayers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
all that stuff. Man, so true.
Yep,
so true. I mean, so true. Because if we'd stayed there, that hadn't happened. The newspaper was getting in trouble. All the AL.com stuff was about to happen. It probably wasn't going to go well.
You would have been the AL.com sports editor.
Which would have been a massive pay cut from what I ended up doing. So and I don't mean that like in a braggadocious way at all. It's just
the market, the way the business went.
It's incredible to look back and at what we thought that next day was so bad. We thought it was the end of the world. Was such a blessing.
Yeah. Well, Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat, if you need a blessing, the Cooper Chevrolet chat's hopping. It's bumping. And CarBravoAlabama.com. Don't miss out on our biggest certified used sale of the year. You can get 0 APR. That's right, 0% APR available on eligible certified used cars and SUVs, or $1,000 cash on eligible full-size trucks. Call 256-236-4481 and tell them that McCready and Siskey sent you.
Some conversation in the chat about Harrison Butker and his comments. I've listened to his entire speech.
I did not.
Okay, I did. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with what he said.
I don't have a problem with anything that he said. I don't.
But it's just that's where we live now, right? I mean, anything that doesn't agree with somebody's. Look, I just told you before we got on the show. The TikTok, Cole put out the TikTok today of when we were talking about the portal guys and the scholarships. Write that article. He put that clip out today on TikTok from Monday's show. You can't say anything that if people don't agree with you, like wholeheartedly, if they don't agree with you, you're getting into this cancel culture.
Yeah.
Ask for your job. I mean,
yeah.
They were asking for Dan Quinn's job about wearing that shirt at practice. They're doing a petition to fire Butker. By the way, it's not going. Y'all can sign all the damn petitions you want. He's not going to get.
But here's my thing.
Lose his job.
Harrison Butker was invited to speak at it's a Catholic university, very conservative, in Kansas, which is a very conservative place. All right. I'm saying it's facts. These are facts. And the response to what he said, which essentially was, family's more important than your career. He spoke about his wife. That's his experience. I mean, I can tell you, my wife would tell you the happiest years of her life were the years, speaking of WNSP, the years when I worked at WNSP, she didn't work. We had 2 jobs. I had 2 jobs. She didn't work those years. That was 6 years. And she stayed home and raised the kids. Now, she would tell you now that she's glad that she has a job and something to do and that kind of thing. But when the girls were little and when Carson was an infant, she was home. And she did all that stuff, and she loved it. She would tell you that she loved it a lot more. She got more fulfillment from that than she'll ever get from a job. Now, does that mean that's the way for everyone? Of course not. No. Look, no one puts a gun to your head and says, get married. If they do, call somebody. That's a crime. No one says you must have children. If they do, call somebody. That's not right. But for some people, it's the most important thing in their lives. It's really the only thing that they're truly passionate about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I do. I've been through it. I do.
And so, I mean, when people say Harrison Butker should stick to kicking, that's such an insult. We wouldn't say that to a doctor who goes golfing and talks about golf. We wouldn't say, hey, stick to surgery. No, of course not. You're saying that his entire worth is wrapped in being a kicker? That's insane. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't say, hey, stick to quick you. Stick to coaching.
Stick to recruiting.
Stick to sports. Well, there's a lot more to life than sports. I think about things other than sports. I get that all the time. Why don't you just stick to sports? Well, because I think about a lot of things other than sports.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, I read some things that he said. I was just, as soon as I read them and I saw the responses, I was just, I gave eye roll. I've gotten very, very exhausted on some topics. I'm just tired of the bullshit. I'm tired.
Sure.
I'm tired of, to be honest with you, I'm tired of cancel culture. I'm tired of all of the just asinine things. And we get on a show, we're 174. This is 174 episodes we've been on here.
Yeah.
And we talk about things and things. It's just every day, man. It's every day. I mean, things wear me out, and I'm just exhausted of speaking on, like, I didn't even want to write it down. My wife sent it to me the other day. It was like a transgender tried to qualify for the LPGA U.S. Open on the LPGA tour, and as a first alternate, right?
Be careful.
Again,
be careful.
Oh yeah, I gotta be careful. I'm sorry. This is what got me kicked off, or one of the things topics that got me kicked off TikTok last time. All right, so I'm exhausted. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's annoying. It's everything about it. I just, if there's nothing you can say that's going to fix the problem, and I need to go back to what one of my best mentor ever, Dr. Nicholas Saban, told me.
Yeah.
Be where your feet are. Control what you can control.
Oh, he's right.
And
But this is the line that the NFL. This is the line that went too far for the NFL. Harrison Butker making a speech at a graduation.
Nothing will happen.
Where he talked. No, of course not. But he talked about his faith and he talked about his thoughts, and he said that it's his opinion that women have been misled, and I mean
it's literally freedom of speech, right?
Literally.
All right, and
he was invited to speak.
You're literally taking away the first constitutional rights of human beings.
It really bothers me. He was invited to speak at a graduation. He didn't break in and speak. He was invited to speak. They gave him the robe and the gown and everything, and he spoke. And I don't know whether they knew what he was going to talk about or not. He got a standing ovation when it was done. So in that audience, and that's who he was talking to, he wasn't talking to everyone. He was talking to the people in that room, the overwhelming majority of whom share his views.
Yeah, no, it's
right.
Yes, I have no disagreement. I
mean, you don't have to agree with it. But the whole I'm up in arms over this kicker said this. Well, check yourself.
Yeah.
Why?
And
if I say, you know what, I think he's kind of right. If I'm totally honest with you, I hope my girls get married and have children. Why? Not for me. Not for me. I mean, I'd love to have grandchildren, but that ain't it. I think they'd be happier, and I want them to be happy.
Yeah, it's happiness.
Now, would I love my girls if they don't get married and don't have kids? Of course. Of course. Do I think ultimately their families and stuff will be more important to them than their careers? I do. Shoot me. Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't know, but that's what I think.
Right. No,
But if you happen to have a different viewpoint on that, I don't judge you. You're entitled to that viewpoint. I mean, if you're one of these people that's like, hey, the most important thing in my life is my career. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to get married. I say, okay. Now, don't yell at me and go, affirm me all day long, because I don't want to. I disagree with you. I think you're making a mistake, but you're entitled to make that mistake. It's fine, or what I view as a mistake. And for you, it might not be a mistake. For you, it might be the very best thing, and you might live your entire life that way and go, I loved it. At which point, I say to you, kudos, because it's your life, and you're the one that has to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why this is a big deal, but it's a big deal because we've created this culture of two things. One, we have to fight about everything. And two, if someone has a viewpoint, if that's what you view and that's what you think, then it doesn't really matter what everybody else thinks. But if you're constantly seeking affirmation for your viewpoint, guess what? You don't really believe it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, you're looking for somebody else to back you up.
If I tell you the sky's purple and you go, no, it's not. I mean, yeah, it is. It is. It's purple, damn it. Tell me it's purple. You're going to tell me it's purple. You're like, no, I'm not. I'm mad now. But if I walk around going, hey, the sky's purple, and in my world, the sky's purple, okay.
I'll get you some colorblind glasses.
I mean, it just doesn't matter, right? If I walk around going, you know what, I see a purple sky, I'm not harming anybody.
No.
But if I make you go, oh, yes, it's purple, damn it, it's not. It's a very rudimentary example, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I do.
If whatever you want to think is what you think, but if you constantly have to berate people into, no, you must agree with this. No, they don't have to agree with it.
Well, we're about to get 6 more months of it.
Yes.
It's just now starting. That's the part that I'm so irritated. And we got 6 more months of just.
Oh, we got it. We're a month and 11 days away from the first presidential debate.
Hey, we should. What night is that? Please tell that's a Thursday night.
It's June the 27th. I don't know what day that is.
I'll probably on vacation, I imagine. I don't
know
know
what they agreed to. June 27th, and then another one in August, I think.
Guess what? June 27th on.
I don't know.
Thursday night.
How about that?
Might be a hand raise guy.
Where we do it after the debate, we come on live and
we do a hand raise guy after, like, you know how they have the Republican person come out.
Yeah.
We come and do the McCready Siskey common sense party reaction to the.
You would get banned from everything.
Yeah, we just couldn't go. Well, we wouldn't be able to go live. We'd have to to FaceTime. That's the only thing that wouldn't ban us was FaceTime. Hell, FaceTime might even ban us. Yeah, that'd be great.
If they looked at our faces that long, they probably would ban us.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Right, Neal, I want to make a podcast disclaimer.
Okay.
I've been asked 400 times today. And I've had the same response. I personally, you're more than welcome to talk. I'll go check out and see how the workers are doing in the bathrooms over there.
Okay.
You're more than welcome if you ever want to do this. Me personally, another thing I'm exhausted of, I am not talking on this podcast about this House versus NCAA anymore.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not talking about the case. I'm not talking about what the conference, the votes and all that stuff that basically gave everybody material to talk about on their podcast today. I just can't do it. I'm tired. When there's a solution, wake me up.
Okay.
Because I know the truth and where this is going, and we're not even close to a solution. So wake me up.
Of course we're not close to a solution.
They're pumping sunshine. I'm not talking about it. They're pumping sunshine. We're not close to a solution. I'm not talking about it. All right.
Real quick, because I'm curious. Who is saying that they're close?
Every media outlet in America that's like, oh, we're going to vote and have a consensus in this and that. I'm like,
no, not even close. There's too many things that have just not been addressed. Too many things haven't been agreed to.
I do this for a living. I have clients. I know who can afford this and who can't. Okay.
Yeah.
when you when you have about 21% of college football that can afford to do this,
Yeah.
you're not going to get a majority. What the fuck are we doing? We're
Right.
wasting time. I'm done talking about
Okay.
it. Well, there's a solution. Y'all wake me up.
Okay.
All right. All right. Now let's move on to some fun college football. So the much anticipated EA Sports College Football 25 that I will be playing day one. The packages came out. It's $150 to down. There's like 3 different packages. I'm that sicko. I will pay $150 to get it 3 days early.
Okay.
So I probably will plan some vacation days around July 16th to the 19th to play. But
the EA Sports thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. July's a good month for the old Quick U because it's dead period. So it's usually we catch up on data.
When does it come out?
The official release date is July 19th. But if you get there's 3 different packages.
Okay. All right.
If you get the other packages, you can get it 3 days early.
Okay.
And it's all digital now. You don't have to go to the store, so you can basically just download it on your console.
Is it on PS4?
Yeah, probably on everything. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I will. We will be. That's going to be back to my childhood, man. I loved it. But the much anticipated football cover was released, and I did have some inside stuff to this, but they ended up putting 3 guys on the cover. I was told there were going to be regional covers, and all 3 of these guys were mentioned in the regional covers. But there was the main covers. Got Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
That was
Texas quarterback.
That was a name, and I told you 4 months ago that was going to be on the cover.
Yeah.
That I got from my information, which was well sourced.
Only PS5 and the new Xbox, it says.
Yeah, so it's PlayStation, the new PlayStation, new Xbox.
Yeah, no PS4 or Xbox One.
Those are, but nobody has those anymore. Do you use that? What you have?
I don't play. Carson has a PS4. He plays FIFA. That's all he plays on it.
I bet he has a 5.
No, he has a 4.
4?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. Well, is
5 the new one?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, he has the old one. He doesn't have a new one.
So
he kind of stopped gaming.
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't.
He did it. He did it some during the pandemic, of course, because that's how you communicated with your buddies. And every once in a while, he'll get on there and they'll play FIFA and or Call of Duty, I think.
Yep.
With their buddies.
It's whatever's hot, right? It's Call of Duty.
But like he does it like once every 2 or 3 months. He's not a. We never had any rules about it. I was kind of glad that he sort of played his way out of it. I think you see a lot of college boys just sit around and play video games all day, and it's a negative. It's my opinion.
Brett, thank you for the gifts on TikTok, man. Appreciate that. We got a gift on TikTok. They got different kinds of gifts. I don't know what they are, but we got a gift. But anyway, long story short is Quinn Ewers, cool. Travis Hunter, cool. And then Donovan Edwards.
I don't even know who that is. Michigan?
Okay, yeah, Michigan running back. Like, hats off to whoever Donovan Edwards' representation is.
No doubt.
Hey, you're the man.
You're doing your job.
Like,
big time.
Cole, we need to clip this. I'm hats off to Donovan Edwards' representation or however they got this worked out. I don't know if they needed another player from Michigan because they won a national championship. I don't know what it is. This guy started 1 game last year. Now he's going to be the starting running back. Good player.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a really good player. He just didn't play a lot. And he's played in a backup role. I think he started like 4 games his entire career. Last year he had 490 yards rushing. And then he started, in 15 games.
I mean, that's less than like Ulysses Bentley.
You know what I'm saying? Like, good for him.
Yeah. Oh, well, kudos.
Good for your agency.
Good work.
I do know that the people on the cover got a little more than the kids opting in. Not a little more. They got a lot more than the kids opting in. A nice little NIL package for those guys.
You think that was just to get the Michigan logo on there?
But like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. I was
Travis
a little
Hunter's
surprised.
one of the biggest names in the game.
Not surprised at all.
Quinn Ewers is the Heisman favorite.
No Carson Beck.
Huge brand.
No Carson
Ewers
Beck.
is a bigger name than Beck right
No,
now.
I'm saying, but like,
yeah.
I'm talking about
you could have put the Georgia brand on there.
Yeah, compared to Donovan. But maybe they had a SEC. They're trying to spread it out.
Yeah,
I don't know their
so.
strategy.
Probably so.
But that was just okay. Donovan Edwards, good job. Like it. But I will be playing the shit out of it. I mean, I don't care who's on the cover. It's not a big deal for me. But I am glad that they're able to put current players on there. That's cool because, used to be like the old Heisman Trophy winner was on the cover. All right. All right. This is gonna be I'm gonna try not to get on my soapbox right here,
Okay.
but I'm gonna peel the curtain back a little bit for the fans on the way that the NCAA works sometimes, and they're fresh at it again. So, we're in the middle of spring recruiting. So I spend a lot of time on the phone every day with coaches and people running recruiting departments talking about every issue you can think of, and um, almost like consulting a little bit, asking questions and talking through some things. So I found this interesting. A lot of schools, you don't like the summer visits, summer official visits, if you don't have to do them because it's so long from signing day. I'm talking about with high school kids here. You're so long away from signing day, and you get an official visit. Now you're going to be able to get them back and all those things, but it's just not, especially if you live in a college town like here when I was at Ole Miss, right?
Yep.
All right. So if you're at Ole Miss and you're in a college town like Oxford, summer visits aren't a great thing because the town's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not a lot of things going on as opposed to, the first weekend back in January, man, it was hopping. Or, if you bring them even on a weekend before finals, whatever it is, but there's dead weeks at these college campuses and it makes for a tough trip. So you don't like to do them, but everybody's having to do them this summer. And I was finally like, why are you having to do them? I couldn't fathom. He's like, well, we're being told that there is a high possibility of a December turning dead, like this December, the entire month turning into a dead period.
This year?
This year.
Okay.
And if it goes dead, which they still haven't told them, this is the beauty. All right, so this is where I get frustrated with the NCAA. And you know what? By gosh, I want the fans to get frustrated.
Hold on a second, because I'm curious, because I've not done a good job keeping up with this. I freely will tell you that I block out as much recruiting stuff as I can.
It's not a bad thing. I do enough for everybody.
I know the calendar switched because the last few years, the December signing day has been essentially like right before Christmas because coaches have bitched and screamed about it. Is it still there?
Still there.
Or they moved it to December?
They're moving it up. They're moving it up.
They're moving it up to the Wednesday of championship week. Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to be. I may figure it out. I'll look at the calendar. I got to get the exact day.
I interrupted your
you're
thing.
good.
I'm trying to picture in my mind. So if it's still the 20 whatever
December the 4th.
That's so what it is this year.
Yeah, it's going to be the first December in first Wednesday in December. Okay, but they're going to make all of December dead, right? And so you can't bring in visits at any time because of the dead period, right? So they're having to do everything in the summertime. And so my deal is this, okay? And here's kind of my complaint, is the NCAA is notorious for doing shit like this. I mean, last year they waited till, I don't remember, way into the summer before they said, hey, we're not going to do 20, we're getting rid of the 25 this year. And it changes your entire strategy in the middle of the damn cycle. Like, if you want to change, like they make rules all the time and they don't understand the consequences of their rules and their actions. And they make them, hey, in the middle of cycles. And so am I for a December dead period? You damn right I am. But how about go ahead and telling the schools you're going to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of, they'll damn near wait till August and be like, hey, December's dead. And you're like, well, hey, I'm sitting here with 50 visits left. When do you think I should have them? Well, you got all during the season. Well, that's great. No, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, there's not. They just do things without.
Isn't July kind of dead?
No, July is dead.
Except for like the very last weekend, right?
Yes, but July for the most part is dead.
So now you're going to be.
It goes to quiet.
So you're going to be cramming them all into June?
They're going to try to do everything in June. Oh, by the way, you got camps in June too. You got your camp window too. You got to do it there. And they're starting them now. Like, they're having them in now too. So they're already starting them, trying to get ahead. I know of one particular school in the SEC that I talked to today. They're going to have 2 really big weekends in the summer, and they're worried that like the town's going to be dead and there's not, it's not going to be a good visit. And so there's a lot of things when it comes to the NCAA making rules, and then which is going to lead into this next thing. Okay, the reason we have so many issues right now in football, and I'm not talking about the issues y'all think I'm going to. I'm not talking about NIL. I'm not talking about any of that shit, the portal, any of that. The reason we have issues with a calendar right now is we plug and play rules. Okay, so we change a rule and we don't change the calendar to adapt to the rule, and so we've ended up with this big just pile of shit calendar. It used to be very functional. It was a great calendar, and the first plug and play thing, what started this thing going downhill field quick, was when the first big move was having a December signing day. Okay, again, I don't have a problem with a December signing day, but you got to adjust the calendar to make it fit, and they never adjust the calendar. And what I mean by that is, hey, this is when the dead periods and the quiet periods and the contact periods and all that stuff. They never adjust it, and so every time they make a rule, they don't adjust out the calendar to fix, and all of a sudden you got a shit show. So I found this very interesting. I've talked to probably 4 or 5. This is not my idea. This is coming from coaches. And actually 2 recruiting guys brought it up, and they don't know each other. So it's being discussed, and they're wanting to get it done whenever football gets fixed, because it's going to have to get fixed first, okay, when they get all this other shit sorted out. So let's don't get excited. But they want to try to push the calendar once everything gets settled and we get into this quote-unquote NFL model, hint, hint. All right, once we get into this NFL model, they want to marry the calendar up kind of like the NFL does it, okay? And what I mean by that is this, okay? I think it's a great idea. Is, again, not my idea. I'm just repeating what I was told.
Okay.
So football season is basically August and now, which is the point, is now we're extending the playoff. We're getting all these playoff teams. This season's going through January now.
It's into late January.
Okay.
The national championship this year, I think, is January the 20th.
Yes. So football season is from August to January. Now, here's the key part of this. No mid-year entries. No mid-year, no mid-years. Okay?
What do you mean no mid-years?
Like no high school kid graduates early and enrolls January 1st.
Okay.
Okay? So this is part of that is no mid-years. All right, but August to the end of January, it's football season. Like the NFL, it's football season.
Okay.
Just like the NFL, just like the NFL sends teams to watch practice, they're talking about, and you start seeing some of the rules starting to come up to try to fit this model, is you can have your quote-unquote scouts or your recruiting staff can come out when they're going to unlimited staffs, and you don't have to be a coach to go on the road.
Okay.
You can go out and scout players just like they do in the NFL. During the season, they'll go to watch practice. You see them at practice when you go cover.
Yeah.
And do the same kind of thing during the high school season. All right, now, season's over January 20th.
Okay. Yep.
Just like the NFL, the first thing after the end of the season that hits is free agency.
Yeah.
And so moving the portal.
NFL free agency is March, right?
Correct. So moving the portal to like February. Okay. So having the entire month of February. So you have one portal window.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't have the opportunity to jump 57,000 times.
Okay.
Okay. You have one portal window and you decide in February where you're going to go.
Okay.
That way the teams know who they got on their team and on the roster they know what they have left to go get high school wise.
Okay.
Moving the high school signing day all the way to mid-April. Like April 15th.
Okay.
So you got March and April, half of April, to do visits, contact period, official visits. You got that.
So you couldn't do official visits until then?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Most kids would still know where they were going.
And I'm fixing to tell you why in just a second, okay?
Okay, sure.
All right, but most kids, because you're going to go to campuses anyway, all right? Now, what's usually in the middle of that April 15th window? What's usually around there?
Tax day. I'm sorry.
Your favorite time of the year, spring football, right?
Yeah.
Getting rid of spring football. Okay?
Yeah.
And then
every coach I know would be for that.
And then June the 1st, okay? June the 1st.
Yeah.
You have your team. Your team shows up to campus on June the 1st.
You can start doing some mini camps.
And so instead of having spring practice, you replace that with OTAs and mini camps in June and July, and then you start in August.
And look, if you're preparing guys for the NFL, getting them used to an NFL calendar might be a good idea.
It's a shocker. But here's the thing is this new model of spring recruiting that we got this year with spring contacts. This is basically, and we kind of knew it, but it's really, we've now had it tested. It's been out there. Teams are frustrated. They're wasting money. You're going on these trips. And in contact period, let me explain to you. In contact period in December.
You said you're going on these trips. So you mean kids are coming on visits?
No, you're going to visit. You're going to spring recruit, and your board's too big because it's
Oh,
contact period.
gotcha.
Okay. Well, in December, when you're going to do contact period and you're going to see all these kids, you got your list down to like 50 dudes, maybe. Okay. And I'm going to go see Neal McCready, okay, at Ruston High. And that's why I'm going today.
God,
So,
I bet you're excited.
but while I'm going to see Neal McCready, I'll go see some other underclassmen in the area. But
Okay.
the point of my trip is Neal.
Hell yeah.
All right.
In Ruston.
They can't do that right
You'll
now.
go to Ponchatoula's, get some.
They don't have their
Creole.
they don't have their list narrowed down that far, and so now their list is at 200 or 300, and they're just throwing fish in a barrel, and it doesn't even matter at this point in time because it's going to be how much money you have at the end anyway, and so these guys are just wasting trips. It would blow your mind how many schools, and I know of 2 that coaches like, hey, y'all come back Friday, we're done, we're done, we're just blowing because these trips are expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, why is saving money important?
Well, you're about to do all this revenue sharing.
You're about to start having to pay
paying
for
penalties.
However they figure it out, you're
Yeah.
going to have to start paying money, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going to
So
start
if you
looking.
can spend less on recruiting, you should.
Yes, and they're not going to waste money on that. So I thought that was interesting from that standpoint on that. All
Well,
right.
you know what? That makes so much sense that I give it a 0% chance of happening. I mean, that's no. I'm almost kind of serious.
I'm laughing at TikTok.
That's so common sense.
I see you, Ian.
That is so common sense.
Well, the common sense usually doesn't work.
Because by the time you get to March or April of a kid's senior year, he knows where he's going.
There's so many unofficial visits and stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
he knows where he's going. I mean, a kid, look, I've said this many times. Now, I know football kids are different than regular kids, but not that damn much. How many regular kids, academic kids going to college for, I don't know, college.
right. Like my kids.
Like to learn,
Yeah.
to get a degree. How many of those kids do you know really think about 10 schools? How many do they really consider 10? Do they seriously consider?
Well, I go
10
ahead and
schools?
let me tell you how I was trying to take after you, by the way. I just want to go on record. You've kind of been an example to me about what you've done with like Carson, your kids, about, hey, we're going to go a trip and check out this school, those things, right?
Yep.
So I have one that's going to be a senior next year.
Yep.
I have done everything but handcuff the kid and put him in the back of the car. I can't get him to go to any more visits. Like he's not going. He knows where he's going. And now I have a kid that's going.
You owe him.
No, he's not going. He's going to go. He's going to Ole Miss.
Okay.
That's where he wants to go. Good for him.
You're such a homer.
Not
kidding.
me.
I'm kidding.
Not
it's a
me.
joke. It's a joke.
Not me.
Joking.
So that's where he wants to go. He's done. He doesn't want to look anywhere else. I mean, he gets letters in the mail.
Well, if you know where you're going, you know where you're going, right?
I'm proud of him. He made a very good score in the ACT. He's in the 30+ club on the ACT. So he gets money and scholarship offers and all these little, academic stuff from everywhere. And he will not go look. He won't even go look. So that's just what it is, right? So yes, they know pretty early what they want to do and where they want to go. I guess is to answer your question on that part. But I'm proud of him. He's in the 30+ club, so he'll save me a little money on my college tuition. So I think he wants to take it again. I think he wants to try to get a perfect score. He did not get a perfect score, but he's in the 30+ club.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah, a lot smarter than his dad. I don't even try. Do you know when see
Aaron's going, mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, well, see, Erin does me dirty. She goes, that shouldn't clip that. I got to be careful what I say. So, because
yeah.
I did get a question. She doesn't listen to our show because
Right.
she says she hears me all day long.
Yeah, I understand that.
And so she hit me the other day, and you know who you are. You listen to this show. Somebody sent her something from the show, and I came home the other day.
Taken out of context.
She goes, what do you mean by being a 4-time world champ? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then she goes, well, you were a 3-time it says you're a 3-time world champ, but you're trying to be a four-time world champ. What the hell is that? I just like, I don't know. But hey, whoever you are, quit that shit. I have to, y'all got to cut that out. Y'all get me in trouble when I get home. I don't like
What did you mean by that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We're still on TikTok. We haven't been banned yet. All right. But anyway, yeah, so that sucked.
Oh, it's funny.
But I don't know where I was going. But anyway, long story short is the kids know where they're going. I in my opinion, they need to. It makes no sense. Okay, if you think about, and I try to tell people this. All right, and I know what you say when you say it's not the NFL, but we're turning it into the NFL the way we build rosters. Okay, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I'm referring
using
to.
an NFL model.
I'm not talking about the stuff that
I know
you're not talking about. I don't want to get into that.
I know.
All right, but imagine a world in the NFL where there was free agency about week 17 of the NFL season.
It's stupid.
Okay.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
And then you have the draft. You don't have one draft. You got two drafts. You have the NFL draft about week 14, and then you have the NFL draft week 14, and you're gonna have another NFL draft right after the Super Bowl. That's why it's hard to build rosters.
No, it's impossible to build rosters.
Right.
I mean, that's like there's one of the like the story that would be a fun story to do, but you wouldn't get the kind of time with each person that you'd want is, NFL teams have a roster building mode, like a rubric, really.
Yes.
That they use. You can't really do that at the college level. You can have the idea of one, but you have no real control over it because there's so many times kids can go, okay, I'm out. All right, well, I can replace you, but not with the player. So we're going to bolster another spot. Yeah, okay, well, now I'm out. And so it's this, and it's constantly used. Never a moment, like an NFL team today, right? If they got their schedules yesterday, let's talk about it. Pick an NFL team.
The Falcons for GJG.
The Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons know precisely who they're taking to camp today. They have a list of who they're taking to camp. They have control over that list.
Yep.
Now they got some guys they got to sign, rookies and stuff, but whatever.
Yeah.
But they have a list of who they're going to take to camp.
Mm-hmm.
They also know how many players they can keep, how many players they can put on a taxi roster. They're going in with a plan. It's all on a big board, everything, right? They're going to keep X number of quarterbacks, X number of running backs, X number of wide receivers, X number of tight ends, all down the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can plan for that. Now, I guess it's conceivable that a Falcon could say, hey, coach, I'm retiring. I'm done. You probably had a clue that was coming. So you had a plan for that. But a guy can't come in June and go, hey, coach, listen, it's been great. I got this thing on the notes app, and I'm going to put it out in a minute, but I just want to tell you, I'm leaving the Falcons. I'm going to go play for the Lions. No, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, what you have at the college level is you have guys in April that you didn't think were leaving. They tell you they're leaving. You don't really have a way to replace them. It's just constant. It's this churn.
You know, my favorite quote was this week. We don't build rosters like we used to build them. Rosters. It used to be 5 years, and then nobody redshirted anymore. Then you're 4 years.
Yeah.
And then you're in good pro. And when you're in the SEC, you build them 3 years at a time because you're worried about kids going pro.
Going pro, sure, of course.
He goes, when the portal came along, at first it was 2 years because you had to sit out a year. So then when the portal first started, the clock moved to 2 years. Then when the 1 year free transfer went by, it turned to 1 year. Well, now with the unlimited transfers, we're building rosters 6 months at a time.
And it's just not a productive.
Because we build it twice for one season.
So to finish my thought, the story is. And I interrupted myself, by the way.
No, you're good.
The story would be just how imperfect is your roster? How much? I thought Lane was asked a question and Lane Kiffin gave a really interesting answer. He was talking about how this was the best roster he's had at Ole Miss, and it is. And so I asked, well, you've been around some really good teams. I mean, he was at USC when they were dominant. He was at
been some good ones.
He was at Alabama when they were dominant. I said, how's this roster compared to those?
That was the Alabama roster was the best one I've ever put together.
And his answer was great. He goes, well, I mean, at the top it might be comparable, but nobody has depth, essentially. He was like, it's impossible. He goes, I don't think you'll ever see one of those rosters again. And I think he's right, Tyler. I don't think, and that's okay. But the point is that now at least if you went to an NFL model, you would have an opportunity to put your roster together in a way that made sense for a season.
Right. And that's what, and I want to, for all the people on TikTok that looked at the video today and did not like our responses, we had some good engagement on the old TikTok today. Here's the difference is like, this is the first year, and this is why you're seeing that. This is the first year of the no 25 rule. And that's affected, people have oversigned and people have used this as a way to get younger. High school's making a little bit of a comeback this year, a little more high school recruiting going on right now because of the, COVID guys are getting out of here and getting older. So a little bit, high school's making, still not anywhere close to where it was, but that's why we have such a flux of what's going on with that. But like, I wouldn't mind seeing, once we get all of our collective bargaining done and we get it break off and all the stuff I think is going to happen, I wouldn't mind seeing all these guys that are left in the portal. What do you think about this idea? I thought about this one the other day after our show. I wouldn't mind seeing, if you're a guy left in the portal, just like the NFL, let's go to an NFL model.
Mm-hmm.
We'll invite you to camp.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And then every year you get 5 additional scholarships starting in June. Okay.
Yeah.
But those scholarships have to be for kids that you invite to camp from the portal. And you can have basically, the kids can choose basically like super last chance you. They can decide,
hey,
I want to go try to make
undrafted free agents.
Yes. I want to try to go make this team.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you can invite so many kids to camp to get those spots. But you don't get awarded those spots. They have to go to people who are left in the portal by June 1st.
I like it.
That way it gives you, if you think about it, if you do that for every school, by the old math, that gives you 650 additional spots. So that's 650 kids. That cuts the problem in half by doing 5 a school.
No, I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway.
You should be the czar.
I would be all in for it. Unfortunately, I may know if the guy who I think is going to be the czar is going to be the czar. Don't be surprised if your boy don't have a side job. Might have to add another side gig.
How about that? Matt Luke's the new czar.
Not Matt. All right.
Kirby Smart.
Probably Kirby ain't putting up with it. Kirby's just keeps winning.
Feels like that's too big of a job. But Saban wouldn't want that job now. You're saying?
We'll see.
Okay. Wow.
We'll see.
Look, you learn things on McCready and Siskey.
We'll see. I think so. All right. NFL.
Before you jump, let me tell you that we're brought to you by BetterHelp. What's the first thing you do if you had an extra hour in your day? Would you go for a run, take a nap, read a book? A lot of us spend our lives wishing we had more time. The question is, time for what? If time were unlimited, how would you use it? The best way to squeeze that special thing into your schedule is to know what's important to you and make it a priority. Therapy can help you find what matters to you so you can do more of it. Therapy can be helpful for learning positive coping skills, how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MPW.
Make sure you guys then on TikTok and the channel, pound that like button for us if you don't mind. And if you have not subscribed to MPW Digital, hit that subscription button for us. It's free of charge. We don't have a subscription charge. So if you don't mind hitting that button for us, and pound that like button for us on TikTok and on YouTube, it'll help us out, help the show out a ton. All right. Really the only thing I had on the NFL schedule release, I don't know if you've seen this or not. I love the, like I've gone and like tried to find the other ones, the team's social medias, how they're doing their schedule release. Like the Texans did like a hydraulic press of all of the mascots and stuff like that. And then the Titans are great. This girl goes on Broadway and tries to get them to guess the logos and stuff. So all that's great. I think hats off to the NFL social media teams on getting their schedule out. That's good. I enjoy that part every year. The only thing I got out of it, I was a little surprised with this. Week 1, it's the only time it's happened that I can remember. Week 1, September 6th, we're going to have a Friday night game.
Okay.
Has that ever happened?
I don't think so.
Don't count the holidays. Thanksgiving and Christmas don't count.
No, I don't think. Listen, the NFL's kind of getting, kind of feeling themselves a little bit. And I don't blame them.
Yeah, I would too.
They're playing 2 games on Christmas Day on Netflix, which is a Wednesday this year. And now they're going to play a Friday. Hey, why not? Hey,
Let's take it over, man.
Listen. Jeffrey Wright had a really good point this morning on Blue Sky Live. College football better be careful on something. If you go to this breakout model, do you still have congressional? Because it's Congress that stops the NFL from playing on Saturday. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
An old rule. If that rule got waived, the NFL could go, you know what?
I say that. I will say
they
this.
could flex.
They could. I don't think they would flex on Saturday until when they do. College football is still pretty strong, man. You know what I mean? Like
it is. It is. I
can't argue, but I just don't think.
I'm just saying, be careful.
I don't think. I am interested to see how it all works when the playoffs start. But the college playoffs are in different weird days too. They're playing like Wednesdays and Fridays and all kinds of shit. All right. All my golf dudes out there, the PGA Championship, obviously, I'm watching it right now over here on Neal's TV. Xander tied the low round at a major ever today with 62, missed a birdie putt on. He was like unconscious today. But never fear. Don't be like your boy did last week. I bet on Xander last week. I can't remember his odds. He did the same exact thing last week, Neal. He went freaking super low on Friday, went semi-low went super low Thursday, semi-low, had a huge lead going into the weekend. And like Xander always does, he doesn't really choke. Like he chokes, he loses. He just goes into cruise mode where he just tries to par everything. He doesn't play bad golf. Like Saturday, I don't know if he hit a bogey. It was like all straight pars, right? And people just catch him. So he'll do the same thing this week. The crowd is coming behind him. Brooks Koepka had a really good round today. Obviously, Finau's up there, but I think he'll fade. Rory's sitting there at 5 under. And, hey, I'm just letting everybody know the Rory McIlroy divorce effect. The last time he broke off his engagement before he went on his last tear back in 2014. He was engaged. They had sent out the wedding invitations, and he broke off the wedding.
Yep.
And then he immediately went on a tear. Well, he actually filed the divorce papers this past Monday, but obviously it was in shambles before that. He just went out and went unconscious this past weekend. He looked like real Rory this past week. So he's 5 under. He's lurking there. And this course I'm a golf nerd. This course is for the bombers. So you're going to see guys that hit it a long way as long as they're hitting it anywhere close to the fairway.
Who's this cat?
Man, that's my guy Duffner from Auburn.
Oh, okay.
He won it 100 years ago, and he has shit the bed ever since. He's actually playing good today, though. Jason Duffner.
Okay.
He's an Auburn Tiger.
How about that? War Eagle.
War Eagle. All right, Neal. You ready to discuss Neal's adventure?
This might qualify as life advice.
Yes, go ahead.
Life advice presented by Cole Walters of State Farm Insurance. Cole Walters is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also check him out at ColeWaltersInsurance.com.
One of my man Ian Robinson, who played on our summer league teams the last couple of years, he showed up in a TikTok chat. He asked about wanted me to get a breakdown of the Canes. No, I see. Ian has been a part. Ian is great. So his dad, Rodney, coached with us. So we had Rodney, Ronnie, and then me coaching. And Ian would get to hear because he'd be hanging around like after practice. We were talking, so he'd hear me really cut loose. Like they all heard me cut loose. They thought it took them about a full 18 months to figure out I was. They probably thought I needed to be in a straitjacket. All right, let's talk about your trip, Neal.
Okay.
Trip brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning. Shoot us those numbers, Neal.
Yep. If you live, it's different names, same great products, people, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, that area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Memphis, Hernando, South Haven, Olive Branch, Horn Lake, Independence, trying to think where else, all that area.
If you don't know, just call them both and they'll tell you.
Call Southern, 662-429-4429.
All right, Neal. Really excited about the trip. I want to remind everybody about the trip. If this is your first time, if you're joining on TikTok or joining for the first time, Neal lost our football wager bet. He's healthy. Comer stepped up, sent him on the trip. And so starting Monday, I'm going to pick Neal up at 8 a.m. He does not know where he's going. I will tell him.
I know I'm going to the Memphis airport.
You're going to the Memphis airport.
That's what I know.
Yep. I am going to, once we get to the airport, I will tell him where he is going as we get him into the airport. And he is going to fly to that place. And he has
Do I get there that day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had to think for a second. All right. See, I'm doing all this stuff to throw everybody off because I saw everybody's trying to read my, said I started to say something.
Yeah, well, you said nah.
Nah.
You said nah, and I was like,
maybe I was going to say
North Dakota.
Maybe I was going to say no.
New Hampshire.
Nope.
Nebraska.
Nope. Nobody's even close.
Okay.
I'm not even worried about anybody guessing.
Okay.
Like I'm really not worried about anybody guessing. I will when you open this envelope, you're gonna be like, what in the fuck am I doing? All right. So anyway, Neal's going. He has to find his way back by plane, train, and bus. Okay. Plane, train, and bus. All right. And if you would like to compete for the home heating and air unit, free home heating and air unit.
You got some details on that too, right?
I got some details.
Okay.
So what you do is you email McCreadyandSiskey@gmail.com.
It's in the thread.
And Neal has put it in the YouTube thread. So if you're on TikTok, you can see it in the YouTube thread. McCreadyandSiskey@gmail.com. What you have to do is, and I know it's very hard for some of y'all to follow instructions. Some of these emails, I'm like, guys, this is not that hard. Follow instructions.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
We need your name, your phone number, your address, and your guess. Those 4 things, okay?
That's it.
Man, we had people sending in emails be like guessing location without giving give names, just their crazy handle and whatever.
Yep.
You have to give those 4 to qualify. All right. And the guess. Because
it's a pretty big prize.
Yes, it's a huge prize.
It's not like you're winning a
huge prize.
A T-shirt from the local T-shirt company.
Yeah, huge prize, guys.
This is a 5-figure prize.
Yeah, it's a 5-figure prize. Let's go.
Here, yeah.
We're not giving away a T-shirt here.
We're not going to give your information away. We're not giving it away to some farm, but we have to have it if you win.
I'm the only one that sees it, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, I have no access, nor do I want it, to this this email.
All right. So you email the guest. The guess is this: how many masks does Neal see people wearing from the time he walks inside the Memphis airport to the time you enter my truck in Memphis and or Tupelo, which can be the home
Well, it won't
base.
be and or. It'll be one or the other.
Yes.
Right.
It won't be or. It'll be
Memphis or Tupelo.
Memphis or Tupelo.
Right.
Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have we got like a, when the coaches do the pitches, the tickers, you're going to have one with you so you can tick. And so you can keep up with how many masks you've seen.
Okay. You're bringing that to me on Monday?
Yes, you'll have it on Monday.
All right.
That's
just one of those things I can count.
Yeah, like a silver little ticker that you do. The coaches use to count pitches on the pitchers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a name for that thing. I call it the pitch counter.
Okay.
I'm sure it's got a real name.
Okay.
The guy that invented it had no idea that you were going to be counting masks with it. But that's what you're going to do. You're going to carry it. And then that's what we're going to do. So
how high does that thing go?
Three
figures or 4?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If it goes 4, we'll just reset it.
Okay.
And then when we do our live shows, I'll have a counter, like what the current Neal counter is on the live shows. I figured out how to do that. So we're going to have like a counter on that.
Yeah.
All right. So do you think I'll give you this hint anyway. You think I can read that hint right there, or is that too descriptive, you think? Well, is that too descriptive?
No, it's fine.
You see the bottom one?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, no, I don't. You're worried that it's going to get you in trouble?
No, I'm saying, was that too descriptive?
No.
You think it's good? All right, here's a hint.
I have no idea.
Okay. Here's your clue for the last clue you'll have, I guess. All right. Here's your last hint, Neal, on where it's go. I was going to give it to you anyway.
Okay.
Because I know you're going. A biological. Well, this probably get me banned from TikTok.
That's what I was worried about.
A biological born male
Okay.
named Chris is the most famous resident of this city? A biological born male named Chris is the most famous resident of this city.
Okay. Famous people.
Not that you're going to guess that,
Chris.
but that'll give you time to.
Chris Hemsworth. Wonder where he's from. Chris Evans, Chris Noth, Chris Pratt.
A lot of Chris's.
Chris Tucker, Chris Rock.
I like Chris Tucker.
Chris Martin.
But I'm not sending you to Atlanta. A biological born male named Chris is the most famous resident.
Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, born in Minnesota but raised in Washington State, which is on my short list of places where I think you might send me. Huh. All right. Chris Pratt. Let's see where Chris.
Now, let's remind you of the other clues.
Chris Rock.
We gave one of the clues. The population is under 2,000 of the city.
Chris Rock was born in Andrews, South Carolina. It doesn't say where he lives today. Very, very famous Chris.
Yep.
Other Chris's. I don't know.
So there's your clue. So we'll do that. And then, so for the fans that know, I have no idea on our podcast schedule next week, but here's what I got. Ecamm set up on my computer. Neal and I tested it yesterday. I can send Neal a link. He can actually use it from his phone, and he can actually flip the phone and do some we can do some tour guides.
I'll give you some tours.
We got to here's what we got to do. All kidding aside, is when you do get on the bus, if you're sitting next to somebody, we need to have a pod and do a live interview with that guy or lady or person.
Okay,
that would be awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is they say, hey, hold this Marlboro for you. While they touch
you just can't say, hey, dude, do you smell like ass? You can't do that because I might get killed.
Yeah, I probably need to look out for your safety when I'm doing that.
A little bit. A little bit.
Or if we see somebody double masked, we have to try to do a live interview with somebody that has a mask on. I have to. Preferably somebody that has a double mask.
Oh, that'd be great.
By themselves somewhere and out the open.
Just say, would you mind coming on my podcast real quick?
Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll trick them. I'll be like, hey, I can't hear you. Take that mask down. Oh, you're exposed. There it is. We're gone. We're banned for life. We got to do that. So we got to do that for the show on whenever. So I got it set up at home. Okay. I don't sleep. All right. So in the event that I think it would be hilarious for the notifications to go off on people's phone at
1 in the morning.
1 in the morning. I will do that. I'll get up and do that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
All right. Yep. If you just want to talk, you're in one of those moods. You just want to talk to somebody. You're lonely you're lonely on your bus, or you're lonely on your train.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll do it. I wonder if it would do it on the through Wi-Fi on the plane. You can't FaceTime on a plane, can you?
I don't think so. People would flip out.
I've never seen anybody FaceTime from a plane. I mean, you get Wi-Fi connection. I don't know why you can't.
Yeah, I guess you could.
That would be hilarious.
You'd probably get.
Maybe we could get the pilots. Maybe you could be like a little kid and they let you up let you up while you're flying the plane.
I feel confident that's not happening. No,
they're not going to let you do that.
They probably would even frown upon you talking like that.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. People are weird about.
I see videos
planes
all the time though.
All right, where do you stand on the lean back your chair in a plane?
I personally do not. And
I don't either.
It pisses me off when people do.
Same.
I just think that's first of all. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. All right. First of all, the damn thing moves this far. You're not reclining.
No.
All right. So it makes you not any more comfortable than you already are. You're not getting in a comfortable state.
But you do eat up someone's space.
Yeah, and you're taking up somebody's space.
And there's not a lot of space anyway.
Yeah. I have been guilty of this before.
Put your knee up into the thing and don't let them go.
Well, let me tell you the other thing that bothers me to death is the people who put their feet underneath. They in the summertime, they'll take their shoes off. This is when I used to fly a lot.
Yeah.
They would take their shoes off and they would be behind me. Okay. And they would,
stretch them out a little.
Stretch them out. And their feet would come up underneath mine.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times I fixed that real quick. When I get my drink, I will accidentally spill my drink on their feet.
Oh, that's smart.
I'm sorry. I didn't know your feet were there. I spill my drink on it. If I see feet, you're getting my drink spilled on you.
Yeah, Cole's flight to Boise with the guy laying back. I asked him not to. I told him, I said, I can't. You're in my. I mean, I can't. This is
It's
not
so annoying.
It's ridiculous. He's like, well, it's my seat. Yeah, I get it, jackass. But we're all kind of in here together a little bit. So let's have a little. You're not. If you need those 2 inches to sleep, that's what she said.
Wow.
If you need that,
wow,
you're just not.
Wow, Neal.
I know. You come on.
All right. So let me tell you the other thing that pisses me off about planes. It's like when people I don't understand the using the restroom on a plane. It drives me nuts. Like
getting up to use the restroom.
You'll take off on the airplane.
Yeah.
You'll take off, and people are like, as soon as the freaking clip comes, the seatbelt sign comes off, they're in a damn dead sprint to go take a piss. I'm like, why didn't you just take a piss before you got on the plane?
Okay, so I don't know how long my flight's going to be, but I know with my knee, I went to my follow-up just yesterday.
Okay.
Dr. Reeves Moore did a great job on my knee.
Good job, Doc.
I'm getting better. But we talked about this very topic, about how I probably need to stand. I noticed Carson. I drove him to Vicksburg.
Okay.
So 3 hours, Vicksburg to here. We didn't stop. When I got out of the truck, I hobbled for the first 20 seconds because I had not gotten up for 3 hours. My knee was kind of locked.
Yeah, stove up. It's called being stove up, man.
And so I've got to get up
every morning of my life.
I've got to get up and at least pretend to go to the bathroom every couple hours, even though I'm not really going.
All right,
I got to.
Well, you should have a medical card that people let you have. Hey.
Yeah.
But it drives me nuts, man. It's like you're like a kid. It's like my kid going, I need to go pee. Well, we just left. It just drives me nuts. Let's just get to where we're going. And you know what? And if you can't make it a couple of hours without pissing, you should probably go get your prostate checked.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably a good medical sign for you. Go get the shit checked when you land.
Probably so.
It's terrible. I'm interested to see how you react on the train and the bus part of it. I'm interested to see, one, the route you choose, but two is how do you...
I've already got some thoughts on route back. I've got some plans if I can pull it off.
Well, what if the plan doesn't incorporate what part of the country you're going to?
Well, then I'd be screwed.
So have you broken the country up into different avenues and going, okay, if I get this direction, I'm going to go this way. And if I get this direction, I'm going this way. Have you kind of thought about it like that?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, but I have a general plan on getting back that I think it's not foolproof because I've looked at some different things, but it's pretty solid.
Okay,
it's pretty solid.
Well, you can. I will be hella interested, and personally can't wait till you get to your first destination so I can see the look on your face. That's probably going to be worth the entire trip. To see the look on your face, like, you motherfucker, that's what's going to come out of your mouth.
It's bad, huh?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
when that will probably be when you open. We're past 5-minute mark. I apologize if you're a kid. If you're younger than 18, turn your ears off. When you open up that envelope, literally the words out of your mouth be like, "You motherfucker!" Like, kiss my ass. You're gonna be pissed.
It's not good.
Yeah.
That knocks off some places.
Yeah.
Because had it been like Montana, I've been like, okay, cool. I always kind of want to see Montana.
You're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. Yeah. That first, because I knew I can control that part, right?
Yeah.
And
what's Laura's reaction going to be when I tell her where I'm going?
Fuck. What's her reaction going to be?
What's Carson's?
She'll probably call me and like, hey, Tyler, Neal's going to be gone for a while. Can you come help do, can you come cut the grass or whatever?
What's Carson's reaction going to be when
Carson's going to laugh. Carson, this is right up Carson's alley.
Okay.
Yeah, this is right up Carson's alley. Carson's going to laugh. Carson's going to like it. Laura's going to be pissed. You'll be pissed.
I bet I'll laugh at it.
The fans are going to love it.
Yeah, I bet I'll laugh at it.
The fans are going to get kicked out of it. We can't.
I'm planning to have fun with it. Wherever it is, I'm gonna have as much fun with it as I can.
Yeah, we can. It's gonna be good. So I can't. Yeah, it's definitely not. You're gonna be pissed. It's gonna be. You'll be outside your zone a little bit.
Berkeley.
You'll be outside your zone a little bit.
I've been to Berkeley before.
Yeah. I will put it like this. If you've ever been there, I fucking quit.
So it's not Berkeley.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Like you should have seen, like, you know how when you like look people up, like, because I was trying to figure out the clue today, and you look and you like look up like famous people from this place and all that stuff. Very short list. List consisting of one. But he is famous.
Is that right?
He is famous. And I'll put it like this. He's so famous. I'll give you a 0.2.
Okay.
I would say everyone listening to our show, I would be shocked if they didn't know who he was.
Oh. Wow.
So I think everybody
is this person still alive?
Yes.
Does he still live in this place?
Yes. Part-time.
Oh.
But that's where he's from.
Oh, okay.
Everybody on this show knows who he is. I would say if you don't, then you're fucked up. You're listening to the wrong show.
Okay. Interesting.
Go listen to Rico Knows. If you don't know, get off our show. Get out of here.
All right. Interesting.
Rico knows. I bet Rico knows him. No, I bet he doesn't. Rico don't. That's one thing Rico don't know.
There's a lot of things Rico don't know.
Oh, it's funny, man. It's funny as every time Cole does a TikTok that has anything to do with the portal, all of his little cronies come in there and like tag him, trying to get him to respond to it.
Yeah.
Like broaden your horizons, man. Let's go.
All right, that does it for this show. Appreciate everyone being with us in the stream, on TikTok stream.
Yep. Appreciate all the gifts on TikTok. Hit like 1,000 times before you leave the TikTok stream if you're still in there. Hit
if you're in YouTube, hit the YouTube like button as well.
And the subscribe.
Had 22 likes.
How about that?
Come on, hit the button.
How many likes we got on TikTok here?
I don't know.
We got 702 on TikTok.
Wow.
But we have how many on YouTube?
22.
What are we doing, guys?
I don't know. Maybe they don't like us.
What are we doing?
All right, so we don't know what our schedule will be for next week, but sign up for notifications. We'll
go live at some point in time.
We'll go live several times. Probably do short things.
Yeah, it won't be like long shows. Like it'll probably be more frequent, shorter shows. We'll discuss your trip.
Yeah, and
then I'll hit you up like, hey, did you watch that game last night? Part of me wants the Thunder to win, so you have to. Because it's a Thunder win, it's going to be an interesting Monday for you.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to, but they could. I mean, it's one game. They could win. They won the last time they played in Dallas. They could win in Dallas again. It just last night felt kind of final. Last night felt like a young. I've watched a lot of NBA. It's probably the sport. It's probably the sport that I've watched the most throughout my life. With rare exception, young NBA teams have to feel playoff heartbreak before they break through. I mean, I can't even think of an exception off the top of my head. Like, the Magic Johnson doesn't count, right? Because he played with that rookie year. He played with Kareem and with Norm Nixon and Jamal Wilkes, and he played with a bunch of vets.
He was a young dude with vets.
Yeah. This is a young team. I mean, there's nobody. They got no points from anyone older than 25 last night. They're pups, so kind of feels like they've hit the wall a little bit.
Yep. Hey, and then YouTube's also dragging too, because now TikTok's up over 1,000 likes. Like, what are we doing, YouTube? Let's go. Like it up.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate everybody being here. We've been brought to you by our friends at Rain. 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. Again, no Monday afternoon normal show because I won't be here. But
where are you going to be, Neal?
I don't know. In the air.
Is that an uneasy feeling that you're going?
You know what? It's been funny. I think it's funny, and I'm glad we're doing it. I'm super thankful to the people at Comer and Southern.
Send your guesses to McCready and Siskey at Gmail.
Gotta have them by Monday, right?
You got the last day. Thank you. I will take entries because I got the timestamps on email. I will take the entries up until 8 a.m. on Monday morning.
Okay, so you basically got the weekend
You got the weekend
to put your guests together.
Yeah, and in the event of a tie, okay, if the winners have a tie, because we have hella entries, in the event of the tie, we will figure out a competition between those two to determine the winner.
Okay,
we'll figure that out.
No HRG tonight. I've got kind of a list of things to do, and the house is kind of chaotic.
He's got some things he's got to do because he's going to be gone next week.
Yeah, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and Campbell's coming home late tonight, and it didn't
Stuff.
I got stuff going on, and if I told my wife, "Hey, I'm live streaming tonight," and I'm leaving for somewhere on Monday, and I don't know where, and I won't know when I'll be back, I just would not go over well at all. So, no HRG tonight. But we'll get back to that here pretty soon. Have some fun summer shows. All right, for Tyler, I'm Neal. Until next time, take care.